How's it going, everyone? Welcome to week 5 of the course. I wanted to start off by looking at the checklist if we can ever get it to open here, and it looks like we might not, so I'm going to go ahead and download it. Weird how it's actually quicker, maybe, to download than it is to view on Canvas. So what we'll notice here is we have our usual kind of weekly flow, and as I mentioned in the video that I sent over the weekend, sorry that things got a little bit out of sync last week. A lot of people were behind. Again, I attribute it to not having access to the mastering engineering software when they should have, so I think that threw quite a few people off. But we're watching our week 5 intro video now, and you'll notice if you go into mastering engineering, there's actually 2 assignments that are already posted. And what I would like you to do before you actually watch the first lecture of the week, make sure that you at least take a chance and start the part 2 of the chapter 3 homework. And you see that is live now, and 2 students are already completely done with it, which is good because we have talked about this beforehand, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different questions associated with it. And they're just the basics of the actual equilibrium models of particles that we spoke of in chapter 3. But the reason that I want you to look at that, if you can, before the actual first lecture of the week, which I'm going to try to have up tomorrow morning, but do make sure if you can to watch it by Wednesday at latest. I'm going to go over those homework problems just like I did last week for chapter 2. I think that'll be more effective just given kind of some of the questions that I've gotten and whatnot. So I might not solve them all the way to completion, but for the vast majority of the problems in chapter 3, I will at least make sure that you understand what I'm trying to ask for and how to get them started, and some we will work all the way to completion. After you've completed the chapter 3 part 2 homework, it's time to move on to start to think about exam 1. And the way that you're going to prepare for exam 1 is to actually take the practice exam. And you'll notice that the practice exam is currently available within Mastering Engineering as well. Again, sorry for the weird voice sounds. I'm still quite sick. So no one has done this yet. That's okay. I put due dates just like we'll try to always do of Sunday evening at midnight. But the key thing you'll notice about the practice exam is of these 5 problems, the majority of them will look familiar. They're going to be taken from either one of the homeworks or one of the examples that we've worked so far. I think there might be 1 or 2 new ones. But when you actually get the real exam, which we'll talk about here in a minute, please note that all those problems will either come from a homework or from a practice exam. So there's not going to be anything taken out of left field in this case. The other unique thing about this practice exam is that the actual time that you have to complete it is restricted. You have to get it done in 2 hours. And it actually doesn't count for your grade. So the only reason that I'm putting it up and restricting it for 2 hours is that way you get a feel of what it will be like to take an exam in a timed environment, because your first exam will be timed. For the second lecture of the week, I'm going to go over each problem on that practice exam. So again, that's why I'd like you to try to start to take it before the actual lecture is posted. So 2 lectures this week, one reviewing part 2 of chapter 3 homework. The second actually reviewing the practice exam. Both part 2 of the chapter 3 homework and the practice exam are live right now in Mastering Engineering. Only part 2 chapter 3 homework will count toward your grade. The exam 1 practice exam is really just to get a feel of how the timing will go on the exam. And the first exam is going to be open in Mastering Engineering from this Thursday to next Wednesday, as I mentioned in the lecture that I recorded over the weekend. And really, you're going to be able to take that at your own convenience, but please don't start it until you're fully prepared, obviously. And you also have 2 hours that you're confident no one's going to interrupt you, nothing's going to go wrong, because once you start it, you do have to finish it within that 2-hour time frame. So again, there's no restriction on when you're going to take it. You can start at any time between when it goes up on Thursday and all the way till next Wednesday. But take your time, please, because remember, they are worth a large chunk of your grades. So make sure that you understand all of the homework problems from chapter 2 and chapter 3, and that you also understand all of the practice exam problems. So in addition to that, which is kind of our core course content, you probably got an email from Bly, who is our department admin, about this job shadow day. And I wanted to make sure that all of you are aware of it. I put the PDF for the application up here. And basically, it's a really nice opportunity, particularly for those of you that are interested in working within either the kind of construction or what you would call A&E, architecture and engineering firm careers here in San Antonio. This would be a great opportunity to get to actually go out and spend a day on the job site with engineers from a lot of the large local employers in that area. And we've had very good outcomes with this. Oftentimes it does lead to people being invited to at least interview for internships and whatnot. So if you're interested, please do fill this out and return it. You'll notice it says September 26th. So that is a week from today, and you'll get your assignments by October 3rd. And if you're going the engineering route, make sure to check engineering on that. And hopefully that will be a good opportunity for you. If you're a dually enrolled UTSA student, I think since you're an Alamo student as well, you're still able to complete that if that is something you want to do. So please reach out if you have any questions. We'll have same office hours we generally do this week. I'll try to post a reminder to try to encourage more of you to attend those as well. So I'll talk to you all soon.